You strive for it, don't you? That elusive, deep respect from women. You believe you know the formula. Provide abundantly, agree readily, offer unwavering support, be unfailingly nice, listen patiently, and sacrifice your own needs for hers. You chase external markers of success, hoping that a high-paying job, a respectable social standing, or a perfectly curated image will finally earn you that profound admiration, that unspoken awe. You believe that by being the good man, the reliable fixture, the perpetually available comfort, you will unlock the sacred chambers of her genuine regard. But what if the currency you're trading in is the wrong one? What if the very qualities you emphasize, the very efforts you expend, are not what truly command her deepest, most unconscious respect? What if, beneath the polite smiles and appreciative nods, there is a fundamental, unspoken truth about what truly resonates with the feminine? A truth so primal and powerful that most men, due to their conditioning and fears, are simply incapable of giving it. This is not a cynical dismissal of kindness or generosity. This is a stark, uncomfortable unveiling of a hidden dynamic, a secret language of respect that operates beneath the surface of conscious preferences. It is an invitation to strip away the comforting illusions and confront a brutal reality. Until you understand what women secretly respect and why most men are tragically incapable of embodying it, you will forever remain outside the crucible of genuine admiration, perpetually seeking a validation that eludes you, never truly comprehending the unsaid. The illusion of respect, the nice guy trap revisited. Let us first dismantle the pervasive illusion of what many men believe earns respect, only to find themselves perpetually frustrated. You are told, explicitly and implicitly, that providing comfort, security, and a perpetually agreeable demeanor are the keys to a woman's esteem. You attempt to earn her respect through compliance, financial provision, constant agreement, and the absence of conflict. You become the ever-present rescuer, the tireless problem solver, the self-effacing confidant, believing that your utility and unwavering support will translate into profound admiration. But the nice guy often finds himself in a profound paradox. He is appreciated, perhaps, for his kindness, his reliability, his helpfulness. He becomes a safe friend, a comfortable option, a convenient resource. Yet he rarely commands that visceral, almost primal, respect that transcends mere liking or comfort. His presence, while pleasant, lacks an energetic weight, an undeniable gravity. His reliability often breeds predictability, which can easily morph into boredom. His agreeableness can be perceived as a lack of conviction or a fear of healthy challenge. This isn't about being mean or cruel. It's about a fundamental miscalculation of human psychology. Respect, at its deepest level, is not given for service rendered, nor earned through appeasement. It is commanded by presence. The nice guy often projects an energetic weakness, a subtle desperation for approval, a lack of self-authorship. He attempts to buy respect with his actions, rather than radiating it from his being. This is a wingless creature, crawling in circles, believing his frantic efforts will somehow elevate him, never realizing that he is merely orbiting the expectations of others, perpetually seeking validation that will never truly satisfy, because it is unearned at a deeper level. He builds a shrine to confusion, sacrificing his inherent power on the altar of manufactured acceptance. What genuine respect can you command if your every action is dictated by the perceived need to please, to avoid friction, to win external validation? What power is there in perpetually giving, if it signals a lack of internal wellspring, a subtle plea for acceptance? This desperate striving for approval, this misunderstanding of respect, ensures that most men remain outside the crucible of genuine, profound admiration, forever bewildered by the subtle shift in her gaze. What women secretly respect: sovereign presence. Now, for the uncomfortable truth, the unspoken currency that truly commands a woman's deepest respect. It is not your achievements, your wealth, your agreeableness, or even your kindness, though these can be appreciated. What women secretly respect, at a visceral, often unconscious level, is your sovereign presence. What is sovereign presence? It is an unshakable inner authority, a deep-seated self-possession that radiates from a man who is entirely comfortable in his own skin, firmly anchored in his own truth, and unbought by external opinion or fleeting desires. It is the quiet, undeniable power of a man who knows himself, governs himself, and consistently acts in alignment with his own deeply held values and purpose, regardless of external pressures or the temptation of short-term comfort. This man does not seek validation from her. He emanates it from within. His confidence is not arrogance, but the quiet conviction of self-authorship. He has done the arduous work of self-definition, of confronting his own fears, of integrating his shadow, and of choosing his own path. He is not a chameleon, adapting to every environment. He is an anchor, a steady point of reference. He is simultaneously strong and discerning, firm and just, purposeful and present. He embodies the king archetype in its highest form, not as a tyrant, but as a ruler over his own inner kingdom, bringing order, purpose, and integrity to his own soul. This sovereign presence is not loud or flashy. It is felt. It is the palpable energy of a man who cannot be swayed, cannot be bought, cannot be easily provoked, and cannot be genuinely broken by external forces. He is a mountain in the landscape of her life, not a shifting sand dune. This is what commands that primal, unspoken respect. What is the allure of a man who radiates an unbought integrity, whose actions stem from an inner compass, whose presence is a testament to self-mastery? What kind of respect is commanded by a soul that is genuinely free, unafraid of judgment, and deeply rooted in its own truth? This sovereign presence is the secret currency, the profound quality that resonates with a woman's deepest need for genuine strength, stability, and authentic leadership, not just superficial pleasantries. Why sovereign presence commands? Respect, the primal need for an anchor. Let us delve deeper into the profound psychological and perhaps evolutionary reasons why this sovereign presence is so deeply, even secretly, respected by women. It taps into primal needs that transcend conscious preferences for nice or rich. Firstly, safety and strength. At an unconscious level, a woman is drawn to a man who projects an unshakable inner strength. This isn't just physical strength, but psychological and emotional fortitude. Sovereign presence signals a man who can handle challenges, lead himself through adversity, and provide genuine stability in a chaotic world. It communicates, I am a man who can stand firm, who has a backbone, who will not be swayed by external pressures or emotional storms. This provides a profound sense of safety, far beyond mere financial security. It's the safety of knowing you are with a man who has mastered himself, and therefore can be trusted to handle the external world. Secondly, authenticity and integrity. Sovereign presence radiates authenticity. It means a man isn't performing for her or for anyone else, but living from his core. He speaks his truth, not to dominate, but because it is his truth. He upholds his boundaries because they are extensions of his self-respect. This profound integrity builds deep trust. She knows where she stands with him. There's no hidden agenda, no manipulative people-pleasing. This transparency, born of self-possession, is deeply respected because it is rare and valuable. A man who isn't afraid to be disliked for his integrity implicitly teaches her that his love, if offered, would be for her truth, not just her performance. Thirdly, unpredictable challenge and polarity. A man with sovereign presence doesn't seek endless conformity. He isn't a yes man. He offers healthy challenge, different perspectives, and is unafraid to hold his own ground. This prevents boredom and creates essential energetic polarity in the relationship. Life is not a bland agreement. It is a dynamic interplay. A man who is genuinely self-authored creates the necessary friction, the stimulating tension that keeps the relationship alive and growing. This capacity for respectful challenge is respected because it signals intelligence, conviction, and a refusal to be merely a mirror, making him a distinct, powerful entity in her life. Finally, self-leadership. Sovereign presence implies a man is a leader of himself first. He has conquered his own internal demons, disciplined his own impulses, and charted his own course. This capacity for self-leadership naturally translates into a perception of capability in other areas of life, career, family, community. A woman intuitively respects a man who is clearly in charge of his own destiny, who is actively shaping his world, not merely reacting to it. This signals competence, agency, and the ability to inspire others, including her, towards higher ideals. What strength can you exhibit if your every action is a reaction to external demands? What trust can you inspire if your integrity is porous, bending to every whim? Sovereign presence is not just a desirable trait, it is a fundamental pillar of genuine respect, rooted in the primal human need for a stable, authentic, and self-possessed anchor in a tumultuous world. Why? Most men can't give it. The chains of external validation. Now, to the uncomfortable why. If sovereign presence is so universally respected, why are most men tragically incapable of embodying it? The answer lies in a constellation of interconnected psychological and societal chains that bind men to the pursuit of external validation, actively undermining the very qualities that command deep respect. Firstly, the most fundamental chain is the fear of disapproval and hatred. As we've explored, men are deeply conditioned to seek external approval, to avoid conflict, to be liked. This conditioning, fueled by a primal fear of social ostracization or rejection, actively stifles the emergence of sovereign presence. To truly embody self-possession means accepting that not everyone will like you, that some will even dislike or misunderstand you for standing in your truth. Most men are simply too terrified of this outcome, too dependent on external validation, to risk the uncomfortable reality of being disliked. They would rather be universally agreeable than authentically powerful. They are a wingless creature, too afraid to fall if they try to fly on their own terms. Secondly, there is a profound lack of self-knowledge and an unexamined life. To have sovereign presence requires knowing your own core values, your deepest purpose, your non-negotiable boundaries, and your authentic desires. Yet, many men are taught to prioritize external achievement over internal inquiry. They live on autopilot, following inherited scripts, rarely pausing for the arduous work of introspection. This intellectual and emotional malleability means they have no solid inner framework to anchor their presence. They are merely reflections of external expectations, constantly shifting to fit different contexts, rather than radiating a consistent, authentic self. This leaves them psychologically porous, easily swayed, and ultimately unable to provide the stability that sovereign presence embodies. Thirdly, the addiction to external validation, supercharged by modern performance culture and social media, has become an insidious chain. We live in a world that constantly incentivizes outward display and superficial approval. Likes, followers, curated images, public accolades become the metrics of self-worth. Men are trained to constantly seek the next hit of external affirmation, turning their lives into a perpetual performance. This addiction fundamentally undermines sovereign presence, which thrives on internal validation and self-authorship. When your self-esteem is dictated by an ever-fluctuating external scoreboard, you cannot be truly self-possessed. You become a soldier seduced by the shimmer of his enemy's blade, believing the external validation is the prize, never realizing it's keeping him enslaved to a system that prevents true inner sovereignty. Fourthly, the erosion of masculine purpose and identity leaves many men without a clear inner compass. When traditional definitions of male contribution are ambiguous or condemned, and no new, compelling blueprints emerge, men are left adrift. Without a strong sense of self-authored purpose, without clear values to guide them, they become susceptible to external influences, chasing fleeting trends or defaulting to passive consumption. This lack of clear direction, this spiritual void, makes it impossible to radiate sovereign presence. which is inherently tied to a man knowing his purpose and living in alignment with it. They build a shrine to confusion, sacrificing their inherent drive on the altar of societal ambiguity. Finally, the very nice guy programming itself, reinforced from boyhood, actively undermines the development of sovereign presence. The cultural pressure to be agreeable, to prioritize others' comfort above one's own truth, to avoid all conflict, to never cause discomfort, this conditioning systematically strips away the capacity for setting boundaries, speaking truth, and asserting one's will. It teaches men that their worth comes from appeasement, not from inner strength. This creates men who are externally palatable but internally weak, perpetually seeking permission to exist, and therefore tragically incapable of radiating the unbought authority that women unconsciously respect. What genuine power can a man claim if his entire being is structured around avoiding disapproval, if his purpose is dictated by external trends, and if his worth is constantly seeking external validation? What profound respect can he command if he has never truly dared to stand in his own truth? These chains of conditioning ensure that most men, despite their best intentions, remain perpetually outside the realm of sovereign presence. The path to sovereign presence, reclaiming your inner king. So, how does a man break free from these pervasive chains and cultivate the profound sovereign presence that truly commands respect? This is not a path for the faint of heart. It is an arduous, often lonely journey of self-creation, but it is the only path to genuine power and profound connection. It begins with radical self-ownership and unflinching introspection. Turn your gaze inward. Stop blaming external forces. Take full responsibility for your current state. Begin the painful, yet liberating work of defining your own core values, your true purpose, your non-negotiable boundaries, independent of societal trends or others' expectations. Who are you when you strip away all the roles and expectations? What do you truly stand for? What unique contribution are you here to make? This self-knowledge is the bedrock upon which sovereign presence is built. Next, cultivate the courage to embrace discomfort and disapproval. This is the most crucial step. Intentionally face your fear of being disliked. Start small. Say no when you mean no. Speak your truth respectfully but firmly, even if it might cause temporary discomfort. Set clear, unwavering boundaries and uphold them. Understand that not everyone will like you, and actively embrace that reality. This radical acceptance of potential disapproval is the very act of reclaiming your power from external opinion. This is how you stop being a soldier seduced by the enemy's blade and begin wielding your own. Then, focus on cultivating inner authority through competence and integrity. Sovereign presence is not just a feeling, it's earned. Dedicate yourself to building tangible competence in areas that genuinely matter to you. Master a skill, build something meaningful. Commit to your word and follow through on your commitments, especially to yourself. Let your actions consistently align with your stated values. This congruence between thought, word, and deed builds an unshakable inner integrity that radiates authentic power. This is the warrior archetype manifesting as disciplined self-mastery. Embrace silence and solitude. In a world addicted to noise and external stimulation, intentionally seek out periods of profound silence and solitude. Disconnect from digital distractions. This is where you can reconnect with your inner compass, hear your own thoughts, and cultivate your own unique perspective, unpolluted by external noise. This practice is essential for discerning your true self from the collective programming. It is the training ground for your inner king, allowing him to rule undisturbed. Finally, understand and embody the essence of the king archetype. This isn't about being a tyrant, but about being a benevolent and capable ruler of your own inner kingdom. It means bringing order to your life, defining your purpose, upholding justice for yourself and others, and providing guidance and vision from a place of deep, grounded self-possession. This internal governance is the source of the magnetic presence that truly commands respect. The path to cultivating sovereign presence is not easy. It demands immense courage, relentless introspection, and a fierce commitment to building a life of authentic purpose rather than passively performing for others' approval. It requires abandoning the comfortable illusions and confronting the difficult truths about your conditioning and your fears. Most men, tragically, will continue to chase approval, remain enslaved by external validation, and never truly understand why they lack that deep, unspoken respect. But a select few will hear the call. A few will feel the deep, gnawing dissatisfaction with an unrespected existence. A few will dare to question, to challenge, to look within. Will you continue to be a pawn in a game where your self-worth is dictated by fleeting opinions, perpetually seeking validation that will never truly satisfy? Will you remain a wingless creature, forever tethered by fear of disapproval? Or will you have the immense courage to break free, to challenge the cultural scripts that have taught you to seek external validation, to step into the terrifying, yet infinitely rewarding, work of truly knowing yourself, owning yourself, and embodying your full, integrated, sovereign power, so that you attract not superficial acceptance, but the genuine, profound respect that transforms love into an unshakable connection? She can't give you what you refuse to cultivate within yourself. Reclaim your sovereign presence.